Hey, how's it going, guys? So last video I put up, top 10 horror remakes I really enjoyed doing. So I wanted to do another top 10. So this one's going to be top 10 badass women of horror. There's a lot of really awesome horror characters, a lot of awesome horror female characters. So I just wanted to do kind of a list. Obviously, my list might ruffle a couple feathers. We'll get into my picks and kind of how I rank them. I mean, for the most part, this top 10, all of the characters on here, all the female characters and leads are awesome regardless. So again, like the other list, this is just my opinion. You might have something different. You can always leave it down in the comment section below, and kind of voice your opinion and all of that. That's great. Definitely 100% leave that down there. We'll have banter back and forth, by all means. But let's get into it. So the first one's going to be honorable mention. It's going to be Selena from 28 Days Later. She's an awesome character. I feel like she should have gotten a little bit more screen time, even though she's really in the movie for the entire movie. But it just seems like she took a little bit backseat to the main character. But she is really awesome in the movie. She's a badass. She's killing zombies and all that and surviving. So it's great. She's a great character. By all means, she's awesome. Even 28 weeks later, the main character, I can't honestly remember her name, but again, she's awesome as well. Helping the kids and kind of making sure Jeremy Renner does his job. So number 10 is going to be Nightmare on Elm Street's Alice Johnson. So she defeats Freddy a couple different times. She defeats Freddy when she's pregnant. She does kind of cheat, if I do remember correctly, and she kind of like picks up the talents of other people that's around her to kind of defeat him one time. But regardless, she's a really good character. She her backstory is kind of really thought out, and she comes from a bad-ish family as well. So her defeating Freddy, I feel like Freddy is just any powerful woman. He just gets scared and gets beat regardless. Number 9 is going to be Ginny Fields from Friday the 13th Part 2. Obviously, this is the first time you actually see back at Jason. First time Jason's in the movie. Spoilers, I guess. If you haven't seen the first one, go see the first one, but, I don't want to ruin it for you. It's his mom. Plain and simple. But this movie really does a good job with her, kind of playing the mind game with him, dressing up as his mom and her, the sweater and all of that. So it kind of confuses him, and that's usually, that's usually how to get him. But that's how she defeats him. And, it's a really good, it's not just like brute force. It's literally her using her head and using her mind and how to trick him to get out of that situation. So number 8 is going to be Mia from Evil Dead, the remake. There's nothing you can really say about her besides that she's just a total badass. Especially the ending of the movie when she's wielding the chainsaw and you have that coming out of the ground. It's an amazing movie regardless. You should definitely go see it. That was actually on one of my top 10 horror remakes. Definitely go see it. She's an amazing character. She's hardcore. She's badass. She gets beat up and thrown around everywhere, and still just comes out on top. I guess spoilers for some of these movies, but I feel like a lot of these movies people should have seen at least. So number 7 is going to be Sidney Prescott from Scream. I know. She's an awesome character. She's a badass character, especially throughout the entire series. Like I said, this one's probably gonna ruffle some feathers. But regardless, she's an awesome character. I just think that there's a couple of people that are just overall more badass. I feel like she gets help from people here and there. But regardless, she's an amazing character. I know people are diehard Scream fans. Obviously, I love Wes Craven, so I love Scream as well. But I got her at number 7. So number 6 is going to be Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs. How is she not a badass character? She went up against Hannibal. Obviously, Hannibal got away, but she was playing the mind games with Hannibal the entire time. And then also, she took down the villain. Literally 2 serial killers in the same movie, and you're kind of almost besting both of them at the exact same time. So I don't get how that wouldn't be a badass character. So number 5 is going to be Aaron Harson from You're Next. this is also a really great movie, regardless of the female character. I would definitely go see it. It came out in 2011, if I remember, somewhere 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. It was like the early 2010s. But basically, she's a survivalist. So obviously, in a horror movie, a survivalist is smart, knows what they're doing, knows how to react to certain situations, and knows how to kill people. Well, I would assume. So she's an awesome character. She definitely picks up on things here and there because she's a survivalist. She can kind of make traps and set stuff, and she knows, not to do certain things. Where like you would assume, a damsel in distress or just a dumb character in a horror movie, which there are a lot of. Oh, let's go run straight out in here, and the killers are out there. She doesn't do that. She plans. She thinks ahead. She sets traps. Like she's an awesome character, especially throughout the entire movie. She has a lot of awesome kills. And then you get to the twist, and then just amazing movie. I love it. I definitely would recommend it. So number 4, Sarah Carter from The Descent. Again, this is a newer movie. It came out in middle 2000s, I think, somewhere around there. But definitely, again, go see this. I feel like any movie on this list, you should definitely go see. But they go down into little caves, and the tighter it gets, the more they like. Honestly, the movie makes you feel claustrophobic the entire time and sets you on edge. But basically, it's just a group of friends goes down into a cave, and they're climbing through the caves and the crevices and all of that. And then obviously something sinister down there starts attacking them. Starts killing them off one by one. Not to mention the opening of this movie, regardless, just sets off the entire movie. She survives it, and then on top of that, has to survive these creatures down in the caves, and then maybe someone else coming after her. But regardless, it's an amazing movie. She's a badass character. I mean, you've probably seen, if you've seen the posters and stuff like that, with her just covered in blood. Hardcore. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So number 3, and these top 3, honestly, I feel like they're interchangeable. I feel like I said that about all my lists, but these top 3, you can literally go 1, 2, and 3. It's just literally preference for me. But number 3, Laurie Strode from Halloween. The only reason I feel like she's on 3 and not 2 or 1 is just because the first movie, she's not really that much of a badass, I guess. She defeats Michael Myers. She's a really good final girl. But the second and then the later movies is where she starts to like turn into a badass and screw Michael, let's go kill him, like hunting him down and all of that. So that is why she's number 3, not 2 or 1. But still, I mean, to most, she's the final girl of all horror movies. So number 2, my favorite, is going to be Nancy Thompson. Wow. From Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, she's just, to me, she's the best final girl. She's setting traps for him. She's helping her friends out, well, trying to help them out, but they don't really. Johnny Depp doesn't really do that well. But yeah, like she goes into his dream state, and she pulls Freddy out, and she's fighting Freddy, and she's setting traps, and she's killing and then basically, obviously, the ending is the ending. With her mom and being pulled through, and she's still in, blah, blah. I don't want to go into grave details. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. You should already have seen it. It's an amazing movie. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. It's my favorite horror franchise of all time. But yeah, and even in, Dream Warriors, she comes back as like a mentor and is still badass throughout the entire movie. And then obviously, the final Nightmare, when, she's playing herself, it's kind of like meta relevant. But she's playing herself, but then she has to play Nancy Thompson and kind of go more in the realm of Freddy and all of that. So all 3 of those I absolutely loved. So not gonna lie, she's my favorite. That's why she's number 2. The only reason she's not number 1 is because I feel like we all know Ripley from Aliens. Ripley from Aliens is just a badass the entire series. I mean, she's awesome. Sigourney Weaver has been in so many badass roles. It is what it is at this point. You know, she's awesome in Alien 1, 2, and 3. Like, she's blowing up aliens. She's helping a little kid. Like, she's literally, like, besting Marines in the second Alien. Third Alien, she's beating up inmates. Like, she's the ultimate badass. So, with that being said, how do you like my list? Did you agree with some of them? I know Cindy Prescott, people probably would have put her in, maybe even the top number one spot, honestly. But what do you guys think? Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification down below, leave comments down, let me know what your list is, which ones you agree with, which ones you don't agree with on my list. But what do you guys think of my list? Comment down below, let me know, and we'll get another video out pretty soon here. All right, see you later.